Hi guys, welcome back. I want to do a quick review on some outdoor trousers, and I've been through a lot of outdoor trousers, you know, that are supposed to be up to wet weather, and they've let me down. You know, they've been pretty expensive and I've ended up wearing them on ranges, you know, been out in the wet weather all day, laying in wet grass, etc., and on mud, and then I've come back and I've been absolutely soaked to the skin, so I've been disappointed. And I bought these. They were a little bit more expensive than what I would normally spend, and they were from a company that I don't normally buy their stuff because it does tend to be a little bit on the higher end. But actually now I've used them, I'm super happy with them, so I just wanted to share these with you guys and let you know. So these are the Fjallkraven, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Fjallraven Vidda Pros. Put the name tag up there, Fjallraven. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. So these are their lightweight waterproof options, the Vidda Pros, and they've got a kind of heavy section on the back, which is a slightly different texture of fabric. It's their G1000 fabric, they call it. And then the same on the knees. It's got these reinforced knee sections, which again are this sort of slightly different feeling material. They're very resilient, so they're a nice thin material, and they're pretty windproof, but they're certainly not designed to keep you really snug and warm. So if you're out on the hillsides and it's freezing cold, you might want to buy a slightly bigger size, and then you can put some, you know, warm weather gear on underneath, long johns or whatever it is. But I didn't actually want these to be. I've got a pair of trousers that are supposed to be waterproof, and they're really thick. They're warm, but they're so thick that they kind of they make you overheat. If you're running about on a range, you end up getting too hot. And I wanted something that I could layer, so if I wanted to wear something underneath I could, and if I didn't, you know, a lot of the times it's quite a reasonably warm day, it might be 10-11 degrees, but it's absolutely bucketing down with rain, or it's a pretty warm day, it's not raining, but I'm laying in like wet grass and wet mud. So I didn't particularly want the warmth option, because the one good thing about these is you can add layers to make them warmer, but if you've got things built in, you can't really take them away. So a few of the features that I really like the fact that there's lots and lots of belt loops on there. They're really strong, they're a good size, so I can get my tactical belt through there no problem at all. And the fact that there's lots of loops means that they're, you know, you haven't got elements of the trouser sort of pulling down at the back. Sometimes if you only got a handful of loops on there, you find that as you're carrying gear, you know, heavy gear, parts of the trouser start riding down, and then the belt starts scraping against you and it's uncomfortable. I didn't have any of that problem at all. They're really well made. So they button up at the front, quite a simple design there, and then a zip front, nice and easy. Then they've got cargo pockets, which are just the pop studs, and in those cargo pockets they've got a really wide mouth on them, and then they've got a little mesh inner, so that's a sort of separate pocket on its own, so you've got the ability to maybe put something smaller in that so it's not going to get lost. You've also got side pockets, nice and deep. On top of that, you've got a really deep pocket above the cargo pocket, so that is, you know, incredibly deep. I've gone down to sort of wrist on that one, and then behind that there's a smaller pocket there, which you could put maybe a, you know, a knife in or something like that. They're a really nice fit. I like these extra layered parts here. And I actually like the way that looks as well. That's become a bit of a sort of outdoor fashion thing, especially the knee bits, to have that sort of darker coloured material at the knee. But yeah, I like the way they look. At the bottom of the trousers, you've got a little pop stud there, so you can basically get that really tight around your boot if you wish to. And I think that's, yeah, that's actually on a piece that will come out there, so that will attach like so, make it a little bit tighter, or you could actually even go right around there and make it super tight around your boot. I don't bother, I just leave it on the outer setting and have them hanging down. No pockets at the back, which I actually prefer, because they tend to get caught up on stuff if you're, you know, crawling around and sliding down things on your bum. You don't really want pockets in the back, and it stops me ever putting anything in the back pockets, which is always bad news, because if you put something delicate in there, you end up sitting on it, and that's not the best of ideas. They're not exactly like for like. So you can see there's a different pocket configuration. The left side has more pockets than the right side does, but there is plenty of pocket on there. So the waterproofing on these is actually waxed, so the fabric itself is kind of resistant to water, but I think on its own, you know, if you were just laying in water, it would not prevent water from getting through. So it does have a wax on it, and the good thing about that is it means it's nice and breathable. Some of the waterproof fabrics, you know, that you just sweat to death in them, and they're absolutely no good if you're doing real heavy duty activities on shooting ranges and stuff. With these, I didn't get too sweaty, very, very comfortable to wear. They're not like horrible on your skin, like a lot of the waterproof fabrics really feel horrible on your skin because they're almost like wearing plastic sheets. These are pretty much like wearing combat trousers with a slightly waxy feeling, but not at all unpleasant. And when they stop being waterproof, you know, you can just re-wax them. You can actually buy wax from Fjallkraven, I think, sell wax, and you can buy it from other manufacturers, and you can just re-wax these things and put as much on as you want. So if you wanted them to be ultra water repellent, you could give them a real good going over. But for what I'm doing, they're absolutely ideal. They kept me dry, they kept my legs dry, certainly. And I'm super happy with them. Price wise, they were about £170. Obviously you can get them on deals sometimes. I know that's kind of expensive, you know, but you get what you pay for these days. I could imagine these lasting 2, 3, 4 years in hard use. And you know, whereas the other ones I've bought, I've paid like £100. They've absolutely been useless while I've been wearing them, and they've died after the first year I've worn them. So that's £100 a year compared to something that actually works, that's probably going to last 3 or 4 years, and it's £180. So I don't think that's money that's badly spent if it keeps me dry, and you know, it's going to last several seasons. I've certainly read from people that are working in the forest doing lumber work and stuff that they've worn these for multiple seasons, and whereas the other trousers they've gone through pretty rapidly. So I've got confidence in these, certainly, and I'll be buying another pair. I like the way they look, they're a really good fit. I've thrown up some videos so you guys can see me running about with the dog and whatever, doing a bit of shooting. But I really like the fit on them as well. I'm like a size 30-32 at the moment, with quite thick thighs and calves. I bought the EU 48 US 32 men's length regular, and I think they were, yeah, Vidda Pro M regular, but they were EU 48. So really happy with them, guys. Great pair of trousers, the Vidda Pros from Fjallkraven. Rinse me in the comments if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm sure there's some Scandinavians on here that can tell me how to say it. But yeah, 100% love these trousers. Will be buying more, and I'll probably be buying more Fjallkraven stuff in general. And if I do, I'll test it on here. Have a great one, guys. See you soon.